Yes, good morning الزميل الحادي حواري وجود مورنينج لكل مستمعي بتاعت اي راديو وخاصة برنامج دون الصباحي في العاصمة جوبا وفي بعض من أرجاء البلاد. احنا في البث المباشر هنا من العاصمة الكينية نيروبي في مشروع أو في مبادرة بتاع تومايني البحث عن السلام الحقيقي في جنوب السودان أو السلام والوئام في نهاية المطاف. I'm joined live in our mini studio right away from the Kenyan capital Nairobi by Manasi Matiang. And I'm sure many of our listeners and followers know Manasi Matiang. He was once the coordinator of Anataban, very active activist there back home back in the days, a bit about 3 or 4 years ago. Manasi Matiang, it's good to have you with us here today as a member of the People's Coalition for Civil Action, or PCCA. Welcome to iRadio.
Shukran, Emmanuel. Thank you for having me here. I'm glad, and I'm a big fan and listener of iRadio. So to be back at your studio after so many years in exile is a big privilege, and thank you for having me.
Right. Let's have your view or your assessment on the ongoing Tumaini initiative so far. And first of all, Manasi, someone might be wondering, why is PCCA participating in this process?
Okay, first of all, let me start with the second question. Why is PCCA participating? The PCCA stands for People's Coalition for Civil Action. Our main reason why we exist is because of the people of South Sudan and because of the suffering of the people of South Sudan. When we heard of this initiative, we thought it resembles something that we have been calling for a very long time, which is a national roundtable conference that brings together all political actors. So when we heard the call by President Kiir to President Ruto to mediate this process, we got excited by the response of President Ruto, where he said that he's ready to mediate an inclusive dialogue. So we believe that this process is an opportunity for us, the people of South Sudan, to fix our country and to ensure that the suffering of the people of South Sudan is heard clearly and is sorted. That is why we are here. We are here because of the interest of the people of South Sudan. We are here to ensure that the voices of the people of South Sudan is heard very clearly in the room. And we have been doing this from day one. And sometimes we even take quotes from your callers. iRadio, like when they are going to open the lines. Some of the things you say, we say them out there. We say, munu kida da min kida gal kida. So we need to take his or her voice seriously. That is on the second question. On the first question of what I think of the initiative, as the name Tumaini is hope in Kiswahili. So we actually believe that this is an opportunity for us as Junobin to fix South Sudan and to bring hope back to the citizens of South Sudan. The citizens of South Sudan are really suffering. Today I was looking at an index from World Bank on the issue of food, the influx, what's it called? Sorry, I'm even missing the exact words.
The index without
index.
food
Ma food index. Yes, I got the right one. The highest food price inflation. Sorry,
yes.
164% in the world.
South Sudan.
South Sudan is the highest when it comes to food inflation. So our citizens are suffering, our citizens have lost hope. And this is an opportunity for us as the citizens of South Sudan to ensure that we bring hope back to the citizens of South Sudan. And so far, I have been hopeful with how the initiative has been going. In Bidaya, you find that the first point that will bring hope is, where did this process start? This process started by a call by the head of the country, The president of South Sudan himself is the one who initiated this process. So that is one. That shows that the government is willing to talk. Secondly, the second part of hope is the opposition groups accepted the call. They came. And others who are not part of ROM were also invited. They came. Then there are those who are not even invited. They suggested that they want to be part of the process, and they came. And then there is the civil society and stakeholders who have also come. So what does that show? People are giving in their time because they believe South Sudan needs this. So, and from the day one up to now, we have been discussing. People have not been missing the meetings. People have been attending and have been showing interest in the conversations. People have, whatever instructions we are given, whatever directions the talks has been going, people are following to the letter. And that is because another thing that brings me hope is who is the mediators and who are the mediation. You know, General Lazarus Sumbeo is someone who is respected by Junubin as a whole because of the role he played during the CPA. And CPA Muhammad in 2002, since 1993, up to date. So that legacy is something that has won the respect of all Junubin. And in the room, the way I see everybody really from all sides really respect that man, it gives me hope that at the end of the day, we are going to get things done. Then apart from that, a time came when we needed to meet as Junubin.
That's when you guys had the inter-South Sudan Trust and Building Dialogue.
Which was mediated by Junubin. The religious leaders were eminent persons. The delegates still came and they respected the mediators that were there. And we had an open dialogue. We were open to conversate and share our opinions. That is a plus to me. So, and at the end of the day, that what we wanted to do there is to build trust and confidence amongst the members. Because these are people coming in with different opinions. Some opinions will not be good to the ears of others. But people, we had a platform for people to listen. And I am hopeful that this is going to be the last mediation process at Biamulu Barra. But Kida, Lokafetazol, Nogodisowa. In South Sudan, mediated by a South Sudanese, we dialogue among South Sudanese. That is the country that we need. This is the country that we want to go. And with the way the process is going, all the parties and stakeholders have submitted their positions. And those positions were consolidated in one document, a report that you talked about in your previous shows. Now that report...
That's what actually I wanted to explain more for what happened yesterday and what I'm expecting to happen today, because parties were given like 2 or 3 days to respond to the document, and then yesterday was Monday, and what was discussed yesterday and what are we expecting today as well, Manasi, to the people of South Sudan, if you can share with the public.
No problem.
Yes.
Now, well, let me start with how we came to that point.
Sure.
So, in Rome, you see, this process is a continuation of the Sant'Egidio process in Rome. In Rome, the parties came up with what was the agenda of the discussions, which they believed are the root causes of conflict in South Sudan. And there were 4 thematic areas: political and governance, economy, security, with justice issues. So there were also subtopics that they were discussing on that. Yella, when we came here, these same agendas is what we adopted as the agendas that we will discuss here, because it's the continuation of what was already happening in Rome.
Yes.
So when we started, each group was asked to submit their positions on those 4 thematic areas. So we all submitted, not just the politicians, also the stakeholders.
Stakeholders as
PCCA
well, yeah.
also, we submitted our position. Civil society submitted their position. Everybody submitted their position. Yella Bat Kida, those positions were then consolidated for one document.
Yeah, more than 70 pages.
Yeah, about 73, 75 pages. Therefore, they were all consolidated in that one document. So what was happening in these 3 days, we were going through that document to see what, if the points that we we had were submitted there, and then if there are things that we feel do not reflect what we feel is the interest of South Sudanese, we also highlight it out. And the stakeholders, that is the religious leaders, civil society, eminent person, youth representative, women representative, and also including the PCCA, met together and worked on the document together. And yesterday, the mediation had a meeting consulting with the opposition groups, who also submitted their observations on the document, and the stakeholders all submitted also their observation, and then we will see what happens from there. And I believe at the end of the day, this is where the talks actually begin.
Right.
Yeah.
يس الحادي حواري، نرجع لك في الاستوديو الرئيسية. الزمن مالي صالحنا، عندنا حوالي 13 دقيقة لرأس الساعة. نمشي ونرفع مكالمتين أو 3 بكل اختصار لضيف بتاعنا في الاستوديو مناسي ماتيان. الحادي حواري دلوقتي نوديك الميكروفون، نرفع بعض من المكالمات بكل اختصار، بعد ما نرجع ومنه هنرجع للاستديوحات بتاعنا المصغرة في العاصمة الكينية نيروبي. ده مبادرة بتاع تومايني انيشيتيف من العاصمة الكينية. الحادي حواري.
اللي عنده وجود عسكري او عنده قوات في الميدان وحتى ما مضمون في شيء، انت الان ما قاعد تجارب في الاتفاقيه ده. ما يكون اتفاقيه ناقص وجنرال جو الدريلو
ما أنا فقط. Você tá aí,
Did you invite all of them?
Yes.
So that you'll be within that agreement. Because agreement gives some percentages. We have five presidents now. We have 650 MP, plus 37 executives, and so forth. But if you are using the system of governance, looking for position, will it not be a problem? Thank you.
Thank you, David Magog, for a while there. Hello, Radio. نعم اسمك وسؤالك مباشر. تفضل يا فرانكو. نعم.
أنا عايز أسأل سؤال. أنا كان أنا فقط نعمل. وكيف أنا فقط نعمل؟ الحديث فقط نعمل. أنا سؤال باجر. أين هم في الوجود الإسلام في نيروبي؟ هل المشكلة؟ المشكلة السودان كان لازم اليوم لما تدخلوا في القضايا في حل القضايا. واحد. الاثنين المبادئ بتاعت هي مثلا الوضع في الوضع بتاعت في المشاركة. هل ما تعدل مع الخلاص؟
شكرا جزيلا لك. Manatmathiang, the question of Franco Sebit Bab, did he discuss the root cause of the issues or the problem of South Sudan? Yes. Hello, السلام ورحمة. اسمك وسؤالك مباشر. رمضان قبل الموافقة. تفضل سؤالك مباشر.
بحيي الضيوف في الاستديو في نيروبي.
نعم.
وبحيي كل المستمعين.
بنحييك برضه تفضل.
بس انا داير اتحدث انه البلد انه بحسب تقديري الشخصي انه اساس المشكله بيقولوا المشكله طبعا يا بالنسبه لي
رمضان زمن ما معنا سؤالك مباشر لو سمحت معلش.
ايضا جذور المشكله وعدم الثقه دي يعني شيئين مهمين جدا جدا وانه الترتيبات بتاعت السلام لازم يركز فيها.
شكرا جزيلا لك. Yes, Matiang, this is the last caller, I think. You say the root cause plus the trust building between you guys there, for you to move forward. Yes. Imam Al-Jazaf Hakile.
يس الحادي حواري شكرا جزيلا. لقينا بعض من الأسئلة ده وعندنا طبعا حوالي 7 دقائق بس عشان احنا نختم. نمشي في أسئلة من بانجان من POC 3 في جوبا، ديفيد ماغوك from واو، فرانكو سبيد من جوبا، وكمان رمضان جبريل من واو. والضيف بتاعنا ماتيان هو كان بيكتب بعض من الأسئلة ده. ماتيان, you can briefly respond comprehensively to the questions.
Okay. Now, thank you again for all those questions. They are all good questions. Banjang, you're asking about are all the rebel groups invited?
He even mentioned Thomas Cirillo.
He also mentioned Thomas Cirillo. As far as I am concerned, Al-Kinyin, Hawalu, Sheni, Azimu, all the rebel groups. And what I am also aware of is that they have put efforts to the extent Russalu delegation Lagaid Rom Hinak, Ugabalu Thomas, Azomo, Darobolo telephone the Rais Bita Kenya, please come. So they tried. And they also made a call to, when we signed the declaration of commitment, there was one of the articles says that we should invite or all other parties who are out there are invited to come, because this is an inclusive process. And they're in everybody to come. Mafi Bab Gofalo, nobody has been blocked. The door is open. You need to come. If you believe that this is a process that will bring peace to the people of South Sudan, you as a leader, you should look at the interests of the people of South Sudan and come. However, we cannot speak on behalf of the opposition groups why they refuse to come. Perhaps there are some reasons that they feel strongly that will keep them away from the process. Yeah. And I would advise that if you can, get an opportunity, interview them and find out why are they not here. Yella, on the question of the other parties, PRRCs, NAS-IO, SOMA, they are part of this process. The team coming from the government is the team of Artigono. في ناس بتاع آيو جوا ناس سوما جوا ناس ناس سوا جوا ناس تيغون جوا. So it is the government that is there in Juba, which is the unity government, have come here to speak with everybody else. So in short, this is a process that brings all the South Sudanese. Then on the issue of root causes, as I said, what was discussed as the root causes in Rome, those were key topics that were brought here. However, in our submissions, as I said, those 4 things on justice, economy, politics and governance, and on the issue of security. Those are some of the things that people, politicians, when they were in Rome, thought that these are the root causes. However, the people of South Sudan during the national dialogue process discussed seriously the root causes of the conflict. So time and time again, we have bringing in some of the submissions of the citizens of South Sudan during the national dialogue process. And on the issue of trust building, HINA, with all the different opinions that we are having, we have been managing to discuss, and trust trust is not built only on 3 days, but we talked about several issues that are not bringing trust. And one of the main things that we are discussing here that is different from the other process, we are discussing implementation. Because the main thing that will keep people from trusting, not just the opposition groups, Junubin in general, what everybody has been saying in all the interviews we have done is we have not been implementing agreements. What is different this time? And this is also the same thing as Norwegian Foreign Affairs Minister قال نحن تعبانين منكم because you agree on something بكرة نسيتوا الحاجة ده.
زمن بقى ما لسالنا بكل اختصار مناسي في أقل من دقيقة رسالتك شنو بيكون أخير especially للشعب بتاع جنوب السودان اللي يكونوا بيسمعوا لك باك هوم هناك من الموضوع بتاعت التماين يعني الحب يكون عندهم الامل في انه الاجراءات بتاع المناقشه والسلام التماين بروسيس ده حيكون ناجح وهيجيب لاستنج بيس في جنوب السودان بكل اختصار.
اولا for this process to work جنوبين have to own it. حاجه ده ما process بتاع سياسيين the process بتاع جنوبين. So you have to own it, you have to ensure your voices are heard. And IHNA that are here, the PCCA and the stakeholders want to ensure that your voices are heard. So stamel anything, if it's the social media, Facebook, amul post bita, amul hashtag hinak Tumaini initiative. Lofi interviews like this one, make a call. Let us hear your voices. So your voices can be put in the room and we can discuss your opinions. In that ideas, share them.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Manasi Matiang, PCCA member, he was our guest in the studio here. الحادي حواري نرجع لك الميكروفون ونمشي للأخبار باللغة الإنجليزية. ده كل ما عندنا من العاصمة الكينية نيروبي في صباح اليوم.